Hey, welcome to the video. Oh yeah, this is the challenge video, that's right.
Well, hey there folks, this is part 2 of the Advent Calendar 24 Mystery Art Supply Challenge, set to me by my sister. Check out part 1 if you haven't yet and see where it all began and find out more about it all. But here we are on part 2, a quick recap before diving back into the non-stop crazy action. As with an Advent calendar, I open an envelope each day to discover a mystery art supply inside. I'm only allowed to use the art materials inside, but I can use my own tools. If there's no art materials inside, I can use up to 3 previously provided materials. And I'm only allowed to draw from this one still life scene. And with that, let us see what envelope number 6 holds for us to misuse. Oh, hello, another Muji pen, and another Muji pen. Right, okay, so we got 2 more Muji pens, except these ones are color ones. I've never actually used the color one before. I mean, they look quite similar. In fact, I'd say they were the same, just different colors to the previous one. So they probably won't smudge easily, and Christmassy colors, very apt. Yeah, I think as opposed to the previous exercises, I've decided to just see how the scene works together before I start plopping in the details. And there's that messy cross-hatching that happens when you're trying to get a move on and you just start going crazy with the pen. It looks like I'm just using the red color here by itself. Good for teachers as well. If you're marking your students' homework, put a little X there, better luck next time, 1 out of 10, or a nice little comment, well done. And don't forget, there's still the other color to go. Oh yeah, here we go. So I'm just coloring it in now. Oh, I think that was a mistake. I just went a little bit too dark there. Yeah, the problem with that is if you make an area too dark, you're gonna have to make other areas dark as well. The darker you go, the more shading there is. So red and green make brown, and we don't want to have too much brown. I do like the parts where I've decided to use red for one area and green for a different area and not mix them up. I think I should have done more of that. Cross-hatching takes ages with these pens though. Shouldn't have done that bit at the end with the gourd. I really like that green bit at the top. Well, the colors are really nice, the green especially. I mean, the speed at which I was doing it, obviously the cross-hatching is a bit messy. But I think I got the point across pretty well. Yeah. I like parts of it and dislike other parts. I think that lemon in the center looks quite nice. Well, let me know what you think. The fat lady's been throwing me off, but I like the fact that the cracks on her skirt are in green. I think the outlines, yeah, I'm not a fan of those. That's why the lemon in the center works so well. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Ooh, a pencil, woohoo! How exciting! We have a pencil, whoop-de-doo! Alright, so it's not just a pencil, it's some sort of fancy pants pencil. Now, I didn't know this before, and I guess I didn't look, but as you can see there's a brush drawn on there. It's a pencil that's not just used for dry work, you can use water with a brush and paint over it. I did not know that when I was doing this drawing. And maybe I should have worked it out from the picture of a paintbrush on the actual pencil itself, or maybe tried to research something. But I mean, this is the fun of it. You get materials that you've never worked with before and you just make do. I mean, to me this just looked like a pencil, and not a very great one at that. Just a normal pencil, a color pencil. And on this paper, pencils weren't the best thing, so... for another detailed drawing of the gourd, a bit zoomed out this time, just the top of the gourd itself. But yeah, I wasn't having a great time because of the nature of the paper and the way the pencil was making marks on it. But you know what, I'm probably gonna make another video about this pencil because I'm very intrigued by the fact that you can paint with it as well, or paint over it rather. Yeah, it looks like I'm just descending into detail hell there. Yeah, I hope the drawing doesn't remind you of anything. Oh dear. Yeah, I hope we don't have any Freud enthusiasts watching. I'm sure they'd start to try to pick this one apart. Oh my days. Alright, let's just... Oh dear, okay. For me, this was just a pencil drawing. Wasn't too exciting. I'm sure everyone's used a pencil before. It made quite nice marks on the texture of the paper. But again, the way the paper was so oily. I keep saying oily, it's not oily. It's just, it's got that sheen to it. It was quite hard to make pencil marks on the paper. And, well, let's just say that any similarities to persons living or dead are purely coincidental and move on rather quickly, shall we? Oh, we have some stickers. Who likes stickers? Right, so these are kind of post-it note stickery type things. It seems to be a sample pack of different colors. So I've decided to do a little collage. As you can see, I'm not using any pencils as one wasn't provided inside the envelope, but I can use my knife as it's just a tool. And going straight on with the gourds there. Well, I guess the idea here is to start from the back and work to the front, so I can just basically cut out shapes of the fruits as I see them and stack them in front of each other. Well, that was the plan anyway. So here we go with the lemon in a nice lemony yellow. I do have to mention that sometimes getting the backing off of the sticker was quite difficult, especially for the little pieces that I was cutting. I mean, usually you'd wedge your knife inside between the sticker and the backing and it'd just peel off. But for some reason, because I was cutting it, it was crimping them together and I found it really hard to separate some of the pieces. Yeah, some of the pieces were a nightmare to cut. So I was just making the gourd a little bit bigger there. And the lady in blue. Okay, so my camera died. I should have checked the battery. It wasn't recording for that period, but I managed to wedge some background in there while I was ignoring that the camera wasn't actually recording. And yeah, with the background, it does look a lot more snazzy. So a wise man would have probably started with the background and then set the scene out. think by the end of it, I was quite over all the little bits not peeling. And here's the finished result. I gotta say, I did enjoy myself more at the end than at the beginning. I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning, but by the end, it kind of came together. Yeah, the stickers don't stick too well to the paper. Again, nothing really does, but the stickers are still on there. The colors are quite funny. It was pastel and fluorescent, so quite extreme contrast there. The yellows kind of blend together. That's why I went for so much of that tiny detail to separate the different shapes. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the result. All right, let's move on. What is this now? Okay, so we got a French curve and a mechanical pencil, both by Rotring, a German firm. And yeah, that was a weird choice. Okay, so here we go with the French curve. Now, since I got this shape making crazy ruler, I'm gonna have to make all my lines with the ruler. And because one of the subjects that I'm drawing is a rotund lady reclining on the bench, I've decided to focus my attention on that part of the scene. Yeah, so I'm just choosing to use the most curvy parts of it, and for shading I just repeat lines. I thought this is a really weird one, and the mechanical pencil wasn't doing that much for me on this paper. Nice challenge though. Well, that's an interesting one. Yeah. Okay, so here's the result, and what can I say about this one? Apart from I really wanted to move on from this one as quick as possible. As you can see, most of the lines I've made with the French curve are very impatient looking lines. What do I like about it? I like the variance in line thickness. I think the thicker lines outlining the more important parts work well. I'd really be interested to see how this works with paint. Maybe an idea for another challenge later on? Oh yeah, anyway, let's get out of here. Oh, what's this? Ah, more acrylic paint in yellow. More yellow paint. So this looks like a sample of Winsor & Newton Artist Acrylic in Azo Yellow. Pretty similar to the gold challenge from before, but again, yellow paint on white paper. Yeah, I was quite disappointed by the choice of color. I think most any other color would have been nicer to work with. So yeah, I think because I was quite stuffed, I decided to draw the lemon because it's yellow. So the paint itself was very nice to work with. It's very thick, it's not watery, pleasant to put onto paper. No idea if it mixes well with other colours, as I only got one colour. When you get to a certain amount of paint on the paper, you can't really put more on, otherwise you're a moron. So the lemon is there and it's very yellow. I like the negative space lady there. The texture's nice. And the paint is nice, but by itself, it's a bit too much of a challenge for me, this one. Brings back memories of the yellow watercolor one. Yeah, I think we're just gonna move on from this one, Methinks we're gonna move on from this one. So methinksing was correct as we move right into the end of the video. 10 challenges down, 14 more to go. Thank you for watching. I hope you've had fun and maybe you've learnt something as I have. Or maybe you just want to give me a good old ribbing. Well, all's fair in love and war, and the comment section awaits. Anyhow, that's all for part 2. Hope to see you in a week's time in part 3, where the concept of art supplies turns into actual concepts. And I'll thank you, and bye bye.